Mad Cat MK2. I wonder what MK2 stands for. But anyway, hello and good luck. Would you like to play first? Heck yeah. I want to play first. And we got a keep. We got a sweet keep, actually. Dang. No, schmakes. Mad Cat MK2. Mick 2? Mount 2. I don't know. So yeah, this is a pretty ideal draw for us. If my opponent has shock, we still get there, but... Oh, one of the blue drafters. Okay. But a turn 2 Master Diversion and then a turn 3 Rumbling Baloth. Hard to jump away from. But my opponent's in the color to stabilize. Let's see what you got for me. Hopefully no Mind Rot, because that's going to be quite the bummer in the nearest of futures. Essence Scatter is up. Do I wait? I have no idea. The thing is, I have such a huge upside if I can get this Rumbling Baloth down. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to play the Rumbling Baloth. If my opponent Essence Scatters it, that's an issue. Oh, cool. I'm definitely playing the Rumbling Baloth. Disperse. Okay, so my opponent's trying to stay alive. That is a-okay with me. And my opponent still has that. Might even have if that's the case, I mean, I'm only going to play the Master Diversion, so I'll bash in with the Elf as well. And what would I rather have, the Root Walla or the Master Diversion? I'm not playing the Sarah Angel because of Essence. That guy's just too good. There's no way I can do that. I think I don't need to show my opponent the Root Walla, so I will just play the Master Diversion. No, but actually I think the Master Diversion is going to be better because my opponent's so far behind. I just think it's just going to do so much work. I want to protect it a little bit more. And the first chance that my opponent taps out, I will play Sarah Angel. Whatever a Claustrophobia or Shunder's Outrage is there, we'll probably get it, but maybe I'm doing enough pressure against my opponent now that the removal spells are going to have to be cast on these early guys. Here's an Archaeomancer. Okay. So it'll get dispersed back, but we're going to have enough pressure online to where that shouldn't really matter a whole lot. We'll bash in with our two dudes. And I'll probably just pump the Root Walla and play the Master Diversion instead of playing the Siege Mastodon. Because I like having the Master Diversion out. Alright, so there's a chump. We'll do the pump. Do a lot of damage. And then play the Master. The Master. Because now we're bashing in for 10 next turn. I mean 11, honestly. With the Elvish Archdude, because we can tap down whatever. I mean, I know Disperse is in hand, so that's going to happen. But just so much pressure online right now. Oh, interesting. Something big? Not too sure. Isn't my opponent just dead on board then? Tap this guy down. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I'm not too sure where that came from. So I don't think my opponent did the combat math yet. Because tapping out for that was not a good idea. Interesting. Well, at least we have to show my opponent some of the other key cards. So that is the nut draw, of course. Yay, Elvish Mystic, being awesome. So my opponent is playing the a little bit of flyer action in the blue-red deck, which I happen to love. Didn't see anything for Naturalize or Solemn Offering to come play with. The Wall of Swords is good, but I don't think my opponent showed enough aggression, and actually seeing Disperse and an Archaeomancer might mean that I can just try to get away with being quicker than my opponent. But I wouldn't mind the Wall of Swords, assuming I have a card that I do not like against my opponent. Capuchin Knight can be really annoying if it gets dispersed after I pump a whole lot into it, and the Troll Hides get bad because of disperse. So yeah, maybe I take out the second Troll Hide to bring in Wall of Swords. Again, my strategy is just to kind of go big, but I feel like Troll Hide can easily get eaten by the disperse, and it's worst against the blue mages. So I'm happy to bring that guy in. I still want an Auramancer, even though Auramancer could be good as my opponent bounces cards. But still, Troll Hide is still like a decent enough finisher to kind of like pound through. So yeah, I think we're just gonna keep it like that. We'll keep it. It's not exciting. Hunt the Weak with the Wall of Swords is kind of a thing. But we do have a 2-drop, and we have our lands, and we can cast our spells, so it's just not as insane as our first hand was, naturally. Okay, so my opponent has both colors of mana now, whereas at the beginning of the last game that was not the case. Our Capuchin Knight will hold down the fort against Goblin Shortcutter for now. And now, instead of us kind of being on the super aggro sweet curve plan, we're on a little bit on the late game, which is not where my deck wants to be, but I think it can still function that way. And my opponent not playing anything is pretty good. Do I want to start attacking? Again, my deck is going to end up being just like the late game deck. I can get 2 points of damage in here if I want. That's trading that. No, I'm just going to keep. I'm gonna hold back. No, I lied. I'm going to attack. I have nothing to do with my mana. I might as well. And I want to be putting pressure on my opponent. I assume there's just no blocks. Yeah, exactly. This could get dispersed and waste my turn, but I was wasting my turn anyway. If my opponent wants to waste a disperse, I'm actually okay with that. I'm trading 2 for 2 here. Wall of Swords will probably come down this turn. I assume my opponent is going to just keep up counter magic. It could be a Sea Kite though, because you can unfortunately keep up counter magic and then play the Sea Kite on my turn. Seacoast Drake. Alright, so play the Wall of Swords, it could get Essence Scattered. That's true. Do I just wait for my opponent to tap out? Or do I just want to bait out the Essence Scatter and Wall of Swords so I can get my Rumbling Baloth online? I kind of like that idea. Go ahead and Essence Scatter the Wall of Swords. Oh, or don't. That's cool too. So I've been playing around Essence Scatter. Or not really, I've been thinking about it and choosing not to play around it. My opponent hasn't shown it to me yet, so maybe my opponent just doesn't have it. Blue was pretty overdrafted, so yeah. My opponent has no attacks here, which is fine for us. We're just going to keep on playing our lands out. I'm going to play Siege Mastodon. I actually prefer Roman Baloth and Charging Griffin. Although my opponent did show that there was no Essence Scatter in hand that turn. Yeah, actually, I think I just play the Charging Griffin so I can start getting in there. Although, actually, no, the Siege Mastodon can get in there as well. So we'll maximize the resources right now. Oh, here it is. Oh, cancel. Yeah, I forgot cancel was an up last turn. Okay. Still okay with that. Not excited, but I do think that Siege Mastodon was the card I wanted to get canceled versus one of my other dudes. So opponent's a little bit stuck on the 4-lander, though that's still a pretty sizable amount of land to do things with. A lot of Galemancer to get cancel back. Okay. So what card do I want to have online first and foremost? Knowing that, of course, cancel is going to be up. Do I care more about the Rumbling Baloth? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I think we need the evasion with the Charging Griffin here. and then we'll just be aware that cancel exists and choose a card in the future that can deal with that. Because anytime now that my opponent play Mountain, that's cool, because any blue spell means my opponent can't hold up cancel. Ooh, Jace. So that's a thing. Ugh. So we gotta kill Jace. Boom. Aw, Sarah Angel. So let's see, does my opponent... Can I get enough damage in right now? Charging Griffin just gets chumped by Seacoast Drake. Though we'll kill it. I can only... But if I do Hunt the Weak... Yeah, so we Hunt the Weak the Seacoast Drake with the Charging Griffin. It dies. We kill Jace. That has to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's my entire turn, basically. But that's the only way to get that guy gone. So... That's happening. That's happening. Definitely want to kill Jace, please. And that's the turn. I only dealt with Jace. I still have 16 cards in the deck, so there's hope. There's definitely hope. And now having a flyer that attacks for 4 each turn, and my opponent not having a flyer out yet, can be good. So what's next? It means I can keep playing out my spells. Ooh, Chandra's Outrage. That's a bummer. Oh, shoot! Oh, that was so stupid. I had Giant Growth up. I totally could have saved that. Okay, huge misplay. That's ridiculous. Ugh. Ah, that's just painful. Especially now I can't play both the Bailiff and Charging Griffin. We'll just play the next Charging Griffin and hate my life from here on out. Wow, that was dumb. Yeah, just absolutely horrible gameplay there. Horrible. I can attack in with a Capuchin Knight now. So that's cool. Probably should have done that beforehand. Okay, stop being tilted here, Ryan. The Olax? Yeah, I'm gonna start. Okay, do I want to do the trade or do I just want to use the Giant Growth now? I mean, that's definitely the order of blockers. And then I go ahead and Giant Growth and start bashing in. Gosh, what a bunch of horrible plays. Horrible plays. Horrible, horrible plays. Yeah, well, I already made the mistake of doing that attack, so I'm cool with just making the 1-for-1 and calling it a day. Alright. Survived Jace and then continued to make a bunch of stupid, silly mistakes. So if my opponent wins out of this, I gotta give it to them, and that's my fault. Alright. Blue is actually good, because that means I can play my Rumbling Baloth. Ooh. Okay. That's a big boy. Luckily I'll have the double blocks available. Because we can just block the Baloth, and with the Wall Swords we'll have the Giant Growth for backup. And then, yeah, That's it. Opponent's still stuck on a... Oh, no, wait. It's because... No, Wake the Ancient. That's why. So if my opponent attacks in with Awake the Ancients, I could just chump with Charging Griffin and then attack back with Rumbling Baloth. If I double block, there's certainly the horror of Disperse coming through. And so if I double block and then my Wall of Swords is dispersed, then which I assume would be the one to disperse, my opponent's gonna try to eat Rumbling Baloth. But actually I get a Giant Growth it, and then we do kind of an even trade. And I think I have to. I need to kill the Awake the Ancients. I need to stay alive long enough. So, yeah, that's got to happen. I assume this is a disperse. It'll disperse the Wall of Swords. I'll Giant Growth the Baloth, and we're making some trades. That doesn't put me in a great position because my opponent has more cards in hand, and I'm now drawing off the top, but I do have some decent defense with the Wall of Swords. So my opponent's doing Wall of Swords first. That's fascinating. Okay. Oh. That's very fascinating. Wow. Hey, double Giant Growth. I guess that's good. I'm going to start bashing in here. So that's got to have been a misplay on my opponent's part. So now we're kind of even, if you will. And we'll just hang on to the combat tricks and try to draw more spells. Maybe my opponent has like an Air Servant or something? I thought that would make sense, but maybe? I can't believe I didn't Giant Growth against the Chandra's Outrage. Pitchburn Devils. Yep, that's going to be a thing. Luckily, I've got a bunch of Giant Growths to waste time on. So I'll trade my Giant Growth for the Pitchburn Devil. Yep. There's really no reason to play my planes out here. So I'm just hanging on to it. Let my opponent think whatever my opponent wants to think. Messenger Drake, that's okay. I mean, my opponent's staying alive, that's for sure. As I continue. Yeah, we'll bash in. I think I should get 2 points in. Or 4 points, and I'll still... Will I trade my Giant Growth? Yeah, I mean, my Giant Growth's just removal spell right now. It's still kind of like trading my card for half a card because my opponent gets to draw. But Messenger Drake is actually really good as a flyer. And I was able to force in 4 points of damage because of that. And I want to just keep this momentum going. The Warden, that's okay. It might mean a second creature can come down here, and that's not okay. But I assume my opponent doesn't have that. That's cool. I'll go ahead and bash in with both. I think I'll hang... Unfortunately, it would seem... I am definitely worried about my opponent having a counter spell here. But at this late in the game, that's pretty much... Anything's going to kind of get countered, right? I think I go for it. It makes the rest of my draws live. And if my opponent doesn't have it, I'm in a pretty good spot. Yep, here it is. And I mean, it's better than that being, you know, one of my other beefy dudes, but... Oh, Sarah Angel, how I miss thee. Spore Mound would be good. I could dig a Spore Mound right now. So I assume my opponent should be attacking. If, yeah. Eventually, this is going to matter that I only have 9 cards in my deck. If my opponent whips out a Tomb Scour magically, that could be bad. Alright. Almost there. Almost there. Another Chandra's Outrage would be kind of a bummer. Train Condor? Say trades with any of my dudes. My opponent's just kind of plain. Yeah, let's not let this game go too much longer. I think we just do this here. There we go. GG's. Round 2. Next up.